Hey everybody, it's Matt Michaels here with the Vegas Bad Boys of Podcasting, and today we have a special guest. Um, we are sponsoring a show that is coming up on April 8th for Big Valley Wrestling here in Las Vegas, and it is Unstoppable, which is their 8-year anniversary show. And I'm joined by one of the staples of Big Valley Wrestling, Frank the Tank. What's up, Frank, man?
How you doing? How you
Dude.
doing, Matt?
We're in all fairness, we were talking a little bit about, your history and then I'm like, okay, let's get rolling because one of the things that I wanted to get from you is kind of your feelings about the time you've been in Big Valley and kind of a little bit of history. So the fans who might not know Big Valley very well or just discovering it can kind of understand where a guy like you fits in here in the Vegas Valley. So what is your first memories of finding out about BVW and how did it come about? Was it, did you end up talking to Ricky Tenacious? Did you talk to his dad, who, has been the founder of the company? What was it like coming into BVW?
When I first got here, I just looked to see who had shows, who was running in Las Vegas, and I originally reached out to a different company, and just kind of had a bad experience with that owner.
Sure.
Basically, I would ask him questions about his shows to see if I could get booked. And then he would basically lie and say that he didn't book local talent. And then I was like, well, I know several local talent that are on this show. So why are you lying to me and telling me that you don't book local talent? Um, so through that, I ended up kind of looking further, and I found Big Valley, and I reached out to them. And this is back when um, Beast was there. Guys like Greg Romero were there, and I reached out to them. Came and kind of talked to them and got to roll around the ring and show them what I could do. And then they were like, "Okay, yeah, let's try you out." And my first match was against Sergeant Major.
Ah,
And
there you go.
Yeah, so I got to wrestle Sergeant Major. Um, you know, I don't recall the outcome of that match, but I will say that I got to after the match I joined with Sergeant Major and Tumiguchi,
Yeah, sure.
and and started beating people up then and there. And that was almost 5 years ago now.
Damn. Wow.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, almost 5 years ago now. Um, and got to just kind of play my role. Um, I was there when they needed me there. I supported, help share flyers and sell, and everything that they were asking me to do. And then they ended up almost shutting down. And through that, I was able to shine. I was able to um, really like come through, and they held a heavyweight tournament to crown a new champion because they had lost theirs, and I ended up winning the tournament. And ended up beating Big Dirty in the process, and
Yeah.
he's definitely a staple
Yeah.
there at Big Valley, and that was kind of my coming out party, so to speak, was when I
Sure.
won the heavyweight belt. Um, because I was the Las Vegas champion, and I had to give that up to even challenge in the tournament. So I ended up winning the tournament, and then I had Toon with me. I had Ricky Tenacious with me. I had Alexander Braven with me, and we all together really just started running roughshod over Big Valley, and slowly but surely, some of the some of the guys that you know weren't around anymore started trickling back in and coming back, and we started building up the fan base again. And it was just through a whole bunch of hard work and dedication, especially by Benny Espinosa, Ricky Tenacious. Those guys, they like, it's literally their heart and soul, and
Yeah.
they weren't going to let it die. And they put their trust in me as the heavyweight champion, and I did my best to, you know, literally bring a era of respect back to the company, and now we're at 8 years. Uh, you know, we're unstoppable, literally. Um, so I I appreciate everything that I was given the opportunity to do.
Yeah.
I've gotten to wrestle, and out here at the Las Vegas Taco Fest and the Cauliflower Alley Club, and
Yeah.
even got featured in one of their little pamphlets, I guess. And I got to meet Ming. So
Oh, it's
I don't,
good.
yeah, I don't care what anybody says. Like Ming said, he enjoyed my match. Um, the day after, and I don't care what anybody says. You can call me big and fat and slow and horrible all you want. Ming said I was good, so I don't care
Yeah.
what anybody else says. So just overall, this is the company that took a chance on me, and this is the company that you know, when a company takes a chance on me, I'm very loyal to them. Now there are other companies out here that I would love to, step foot in, and my door is always open, if they need me. Um, but the one company that I will always be grateful for giving me my opportunity out west is Big Valley. Um, Now, saying all that, um, Benny kept trying to have people come in and beat me for the title, bringing in Funny Bone and Ace Romero, and I, like, he didn't make it easy.
Yeah.
I had to work to keep that title. Um, cause and the whole time Big Dirty was on my heels, and so and finally he had his day. And it was at one of our anniversary shows. It was at I want to say it was Bigger and Badder, but I think it was a different one. I think it was a show maybe in September actually. So, um, but no longer champion. Fine. Now I am free to be able to go after folks.
Yeah.
Before I was the target, everyone was coming after me. Now I get to be the one saying, "Okay, I see this person, um, doing well." And honestly, I feel like I'm still a target.
Sure.
This guy, um, you know, Kal Jak. He is 6'6", almost 300 pounds. And if you out here in the valley, if you beat Frank the Tank, you're instantly credible out
Yeah.
here. So now I have that duty of I'm the old bull that is refusing to go out to pasture. I'm going to um, just throw people around till I'm done, till I'm tired of doing it. And thankfully, Big Valley is allowing me to do that. They always have reached out to me and been friendly and been supportive, and I really can't say enough um, to them for that. Um, but on the flip side, I'm glad because that means I still get to knock heads, you
You're
know,
right.
and
Exactly.
there are some people around here that I have my sights set on, and we'll see what happens. Um, but I got to get through Kal Jak first, and then we'll see, because Fresco's the champ. So He's got a target on his back, and
Yeah.
best believe I'm one of the people aiming at it. Even Sean Black, he's Las Vegas champ, so he's got a target. You know, Papa Yase, he's a fighting champion, so
Yep.
um, just know, um, if I'm there, if I'm in the roster, then you're in my sights. It just, um, I'm smart enough now to know that I don't have to come at you head on. I can
Right.
I can bide my time. I can pick and choose my spots now, and that's what I do. Is now I get to pick and choose my spots. So um,
Well,
we'll see.
but that's, and I think that, if people who are watching this or listening to this, if they're not familiar with, your longevity, I mean, you are 20 years into the business, and the coolest aspect of that is that since you've been out west, you've been able to um, wrestle for a company that not only allows you to continue to get in there and mix it up, but it also the way that they run the schedule for their events. It's nice because you're not constantly putting your body through it like you were, 10, 15 years ago,
Right.
which is wonderful because of the fact that your experience is so valuable, especially to guys like Fresco, Shade,
Mhm.
and I think that, getting in the ring and, being able to roll around with those guys really gives them a benefit, but also having your presence around, um, is, you know, it's invaluable because in 10 years, those guys are going to be the guys who are in the locker room and guys are looking up to.
Yeah.
And it's like you're passing along just almost encyclopedia of knowledge and experience to guys who take it serious and want to learn and be the best that they can be. And I think that that is one of the best things that you can say about someone who's been around is that you're a leader, man. And I think that that is something that just can't be overlooked, man,
Yeah.
because dude, it's very important.
Yeah. And I see their hunger. I see that they get in the ring and they want to fight everybody. They want that challenge. They are trying to be the best, and to be the best, you literally have to wrestle against the best.
Yeah.
And I've been there. I've been at the top. I've been the the heavyweight champion in pretty much every promotion I've ever been in, at one point or another, because they see me, and they see that I can be an asset, and they see that I can be a leader in the locker room, and they give me that opportunity to lead. Uh, and and it's it's one of those things that most people take for granted, as the leader in the locker room. Some of them, they play games, and they don't take it as serious as what it really is, and that is the chance to not only support your promotion as its champion, but to support those people that are coming up the ranks. You know, when I was the heavyweight champion, I got to wrestle against Mondo Rocks. He ended up getting Rookie of the Year at BVW, and got to challenge me for the heavyweight belt. And where else can you say that happens?
Yeah.
That the Rookie of the Year, that the champion, um, like
Gets a
allow,
rookie. Yeah.
yeah, that the champion allowed himself to, you know, go against the rookie, and even put the title on the line. You know,
Yeah.
and don't think I overlooked him at all. Because he was rookie. I treated every single opponent like they could be the next champion if I had an off night. So I always brought, 100%. Even I remember wrestling. Um, what were their names? Like Little Rob or Big Rob and Little D or something like that. Um, I don't remember, but they were some guys that we had kind of coming up, and that I was, rolling around and training and showing them the ropes to, and we kind of let them have an exhibition, um, and they put both of them against me at the same time. Uh, so I had to, and then after I beat them, I ended up having to wrestle. What's his name? Ryan. Oh, what is his name? Golly, he's the guy that says he's a bad boy or a good boy, depending on the day. Um, he's from Arizona. I can't remember his name now. I know it was Ryan something, but he was kind of like the Arizona version of Alexander Braven. Um, um, but so I had to wrestle him like right after them,
Wow.
and but it kept me on my toes, and that's what I like is being kept on my toes, and they're definitely throwing me like a mountain to climb in Kal Jak. So I am, like I said, I'm not gonna take this lightly. Um, this guy's a threat. I don't care how long he's been in the business. When he gets in that ring with me, he's not gonna get anything timid. He's not gonna be going. I'm a big man just like he is. He's not going to intimidate me. Um, what he's going to get is hard hitting. What he's going to get is if he gets close enough, he's going to get punched in the face. I'm gonna try my best to show everybody that I am not to be messed with. And even if by chance he wins this match, oh, they're gonna know it was a battle, and
Sure.
he happened to come out on top of that battle. But um, just if you beat Frank, you've done something that day. Um,
Yeah. I mean, there's no doubt. And with Kaljak, he brings legitimate, national qualifier type experience. I mean, the guy was a great mat wrestler. So, he's bringing a little something different that, say, a guy like Mama Rocks is not necessarily, going to his wheelhouse, even though he's had that training. He's a little more in terms of a high flyer and quick and attack. Kaljak is he's on your level in terms of just mountain versus mountain, man. And I
yep.
think that and it's interesting because I think the Vegas fans are starting to really take to him. They're really, getting behind him, which I think that in itself lights a fire in your ass because, who is this new guy who the fans are appreciating when you've been there, for almost a whole run. And I think that like you have something to prove against him. And I think that's very important for fans to realize.
Yeah, this isn't just a walk in the park for me. Every time I step out in that ring, um, it's serious. It's 100% serious. It is, you know. I always want people to go and watch Rocky 3 because they will see the character of Clubber Lang, who was mean and vicious and still ran his mouth and backed it up. And that's me. I'm going to yell at the audience. I'll be hoarse by the time I'm done wrestling because I'm yelling at the audience. But I'm still going to be focused enough that my opponent did. My opponent has to find a way to beat me. There is no easy way to just beat Frank the Tank. They have to find something. They have to dig deep. They have to in a lot of cases go further than they've ever had to go. You know, when I wrestled Ace Romero, at Bigger and Badder, it was a war.
Yeah.
Yeah, he pounced me, but he caught a couple slams himself.
Yeah.
And somebody 450 pounds like him probably isn't used to getting picked up off his feet, thrown. Um, and that's what I bring to the table. Bad knees and all, I'm still, you know, don't pick you up and walk around the ring with you like you're a boombox if I have to. And then for those of you that don't know what a boombox is, years ago, a boombox was a large stereo that took D batteries, and then you put it on your shoulder and you cranked it all the way up to 10, and you put a cassette tape in there, and you pushed play, and whatever song was on the tape that was not being played through the boom box. All right, so just a little history lesson uh, for some of you all. But yeah, so uh, regardless of who's across that ring from me, and in this case it's Kal Jak, it's going to be a war. It's going to be a battle. Um, yeah, it only took Big Dirty roughly 5 minutes to beat me for the title, but that 5 minutes was intense. It was an intense 5 minutes, and it could have gone either way
Yeah.
when he won. But yeah, don't expect this to be a technical, masterclass when he and I get in there. It's going to be
It's gonna be
two big
brutal,
men.
brother.
Yeah, it's going to be two big men, you know, going at each other. Um, and I'm not going to back down. And I'm going to have some fun now, because that's what I do. And like I said, any good wrestler, you know, it's just an extension of who they are.
Yeah.
So the Frank the Tank you see is literally me cranked up to 1,000. You
Yeah.
know, I'm not going in there being anybody else because I don't know how to be nobody else. I know how to be Frank the Tank, and that's what I'm going to walk out to that ring as. And hopefully, I got a. It's not really a big surprise, a little surprise. It's more for me than for the fans because I reached out to a guy I know to get something for the match. We'll see. We'll see if it's here in time. Um, but yeah, it's more for me than for anybody else. Kind of a gift to myself um, that you can expect me to be, just as mean and vicious as I've always been. Right now I get to be nice because, like you said, the schedule is light. Um, but once I really get back into the real full swing of rolling around, you could see me anywhere in the Vegas Valley. And there are a lot of places now in Vegas. Like when I first got here, I think there were only two, and that was like two main ones. That was Big Valley and the other uh, the guys over on I think Harrison Drive. I think where it's at. But now there's a whole bunch. There's several people that are here in Vegas, including Lucha Libre and
Yeah.
whatnot. So there's a lot of options. But the best option is Big Valley. And the next show, April 8th,
Man.
7 o'clock. It's gonna be one for the books. So if you've been looking at the social media, there are some big matches planned.
Yeah.
Wrestlers got to defend against Kenny. Um, you know, Shade's got to go up against Sean Black.
Yeah.
It's like, geez, like it's getting ridiculous. They are.
And we spoke about Ronda Rocks. I mean, him
Yeah,
and Robbie Litt, they got to go against the tag champs there to kind of show their merit in a ladder match,
yeah.
which
And it's for both titles.
both titles. Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna
Yeah.
be it's gonna be one for the books. Uh,
I mean, the I think the best thing is that um you when you walk in, you're all business, and I know that people can listen to this and go, man, Frank seems like he's a cool guy, man, he's relaxed, he's chill, but I think your analogy with Clubber, that character is right on. It's precise because you have to have the eye of the tiger when you step in that ring.
mhm.
And especially going up against, a guy who is, um, arguably someone who could uh, shoot on you if he wanted to, you know, and you've got to bring the extra mean because you don't want that shit happening, man. You want to show why you are the ring general, why you're in control. And I think that sometimes when you're around an organization for a length of time, I think that sometimes people um they underestimate. They start looking at you as if you're going through the motions now, right? You've been there for a while, and you can even see that in you watch WWE, for example, and you kind of go sometimes, yeah, this guy's been around for a while, and we see him constantly, losing to this person, losing to that person. And then all of a sudden, you get that moment where it's like, oh shit, that's right. This person is a badass,
Yep.
and we shouldn't sleep on him. And I think that that's what we're going to see. It's like, you know, hey, we had a long pandemic. We had a long struggle where, there have been shows, but this is the first BVW show really kind of coming on that downside of the pandemic.
Yep.
So not only are you going to have, everyone showing up and really wanting to, make a statement in the ring, but I think you're going to have a lot of fans showing up trying to, show their support and show that, hey, we really, we've missed this. And, the Sahara Event Center is a little refurbished, and it's going to be a special night. And I think, and it also, hey, it's the Friday after WrestleMania too. So everyone's still amped up
Yep.
from the week of wrestling that they just either participated in Texas or watched all week. And I think that this is the perfect moment to make the statement that, hey, Frank the Tank is not just here to be here. You're here to challenge and push
Mhm.
and potentially get that belt back. And I think that that's the important thing, is that you still got you still got a lot in that tank, and
Yep.
people just can't sleep on you, man.
That's my ultimate goal, is to get back to where I was. At one point, especially like you said before the pandemic, I was the heavyweight champion. I had match of the year
Yeah.
with Big Dirty. I had wrestler of the year. I was starting to really get these accolades out here, and then the pandemic came and shut everything down.
Yeah.
The worst part about it, well, for me anyway, was there are some things that Big Valley does on the charitable side, that not a lot of recognition happens, and those are some of the things that mean more to me, than some of the stuff that I've done in the ring. Um, Here we have Opportunity Village, and we put on a show for Opportunity Village. And hands down, that year was my favorite show, and we were less than a month from doing our second show there when the pandemic hit and shut everything down.
Yeah.
I believe we were supposed to be in there like maybe on March 20th of 2020, and they shut everything down like February. of 2020, and like I was not devastated, but like I was very upset to know that I couldn't go and see those people,
Yeah.
um, because they didn't care who you were, whether you were good or bad. They just liked you.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, um, uh, they like some of us more than others. Um, and so I really enjoyed that. Um, that they were there. They were just there to have fun and
Yeah.
watch, and they didn't care. And some of them could understand, the dynamics between the good bad, because a lot of them actually came up to me and were like, "Hey, why are you bad?" I'm like, you know what? I'm just having a bad day today, sir. Um, tomorrow's going to be different. So
Yeah.
just really getting to talk to them and go through the facility. Um,
And
I even went,
it's a wonderful Opportunity Village is a wonderful organization and a great place, man.
it's great.
You know?
We are supporting the LGBTQ center here.
Yeah.
Um,
Isn't that
and
isn't that gorgeous, man?
yeah,
It's amazing, and if if anyone gets a chance to go down there either to catch a Big Valley show when they put on the next one to help the center, or just if you got time, go in there and check it out because it's beautiful. It is
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah. So yeah, it's just we do more than just knock heads.
Yeah.
One of my favorite. Oh my goodness, one of my favorite things to do is Taco Fest. Um, Now, yes, I do wrestle there, but I mean, come on, it's Taco Fest, So, um,
Yeah.
it's kind of 50-50, tacos wrestling, tacos wrestling, So, um, I usually try to see if I can get an early match on Taco Fest so I can just go eat tacos the rest of the night and not have to worry about, um, you know. But it's always fun.
Yeah.
As intense and as mean and snarling as I am when I come out of there, I still have half the crowd cheering for me. And it's like, look, like I don't like you, so don't cheer for me. You know, like I'm gonna come out there and karate chop somebody, but they don't care. They don't care. They're going.
Well, and everyone's happy at Taco Fest because they got tacos.
Yep.
So, you know, and what's really cool about Taco Fest too is that, man, you're performing in probably the biggest crowd that BVW sees, in the year, because it's outdoors and
Mhm.
just go to it. If
Yeah,
you're
there are
going to Taco
thousands of
Fest.
people at Taco Fest.
Yeah. So that's an incredible experience, and like you said, it's like it's twofold. You get to do what you love, and you get to have food that you love, and it
Exactly.
damn man,
Now, if Taco Fest is listening, y'all had a churro truck last year that didn't come back this previous year. Y'all need to bring them back. I don't know who they were. I just know it was a white truck and the word churro was in red. And they had churros with a chocolate dipping sauce. Yeah,
Oh Jesus.
y'all gotta bring them back.
Oh man. Oh, I mean, now you just gave me a thought. It's like, boy, I mean, I'll go run out to you know some like Taco Bell even and just get churros just to dip it in some Hershey sauce now.
Yeah, oh
Damn.
my goodness, it was ridiculous. Like
Wow.
I'd never had that before, and
No.
yeah, like it's
Ooh.
hands down. I like that. I like that more than tacos actually. So, but
Dude,
anyway, speaking of tacos,
you can't go wrong with the churros, man.
yeah, speaking of tacos, Kal Jak is going to be ground beef by the time I get done with him at at Unstoppable 8-year anniversary. So if it's the eighth anniversary, is it technically the ninth year?
You know, this is one thing that frustrates me to no end because you're right. It's like, wait a minute, and then it's worded as it's the 8-year anniversary. So is it
Mm.
Is
Is
it
it the
the ninth show? Is it the seventh?
right? Is it the end of the eighth year or is it the start of the eighth
Eighth
year?
year.
You
Exactly.
know, it's fine. I'm not gonna ponder too long on it. Just know you need to be there April 8th, 7 o'clock, and you get to watch some of the best wrestling in the Valley, really on the West Coast.
And I definitely have to say, if Ricky, you are listening, the one you should have started it at 8 o'clock, because eighth year, April 8th, should have started at 8 p.m. Ricky.
Yep. So you know what? You're right. We should have, but it's a Friday,
Yeah,
so I think most people on a Friday night, they're not want to stay out too late.
yeah,
At least at a wrestling show, because after the show you go out and you party,
yeah,
um,
exactly. Yeah,
especially here in Vegas. You go out and party, and because it's a family show, you don't want the kids out too
yeah,
late. With that being said, there are some children there that I'm waiting for them to turn 18 so I can punch them in the face, because they deserve it. Parents deserve it for letting them sit up and talk to me the way they talk to me. So just know this, parents: if your child says something wild to me during this show, I may grab them. So I may grab them. So keep your kids away. Um, I forget who I was wrestling. I think it was Takeshi Minamoto, and a little kid ended up at the ring. Could have been older than like two, and I'm literally beating up my guy, and it's like, can somebody come get this toddler away from the ring? Because if I pick this guy up and throw him out the ring, your child is about to get hurt. Like, someone come get this toddler right now. And I don't know what happened. I just know this little kid was just inside the ring area. They weren't in the ring, but like they were right there. And I was literally getting ready to throw the guy out the ring, and I saw the kid, and I kind of had to stop, because we don't want to hurt the kids on purpose. So just
well, let me ask you this. I myself can answer this very easily. I want to hear your thought first. What By a kid, what is the one thing that was said to you that still sticks in your head?
oh, I've had a kid probably no older than 8, like cuss me out, like actually cussing me, flip me off. That's why the guy pulled the knife on me. It's because the kid actually cussed at me, and I basically told his mama that she was a bad parent. And then her mom was staring at me, and she flipped me off. So I yelled at her like, "Look, old lady, if you flip me off, I'll punch you in the face because you're not a kid." And then the husband got up, "Oh, you're not gonna talk to my wife like that," swing, and pulled out the knife and everything. I was like, "Wow, that escalated quickly."
So
Um,
wait, so wait, you've been Chris Rocked.
no, see, they didn't hit me. They were smart enough not to hit me.
Well, he pulled the knife on you though, which is a little
Yeah,
more
yeah,
extreme than a
yeah,
backhand, you know.
yeah. I do recall one time being in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky, where there was a guy in the ring, and he was, cutting a promo on me. And he said, "Frank the Tank, your problem is you think you're invincible." And some kid, about 16, 17, he goes, "He's not invincible. I can see him right there." I, like, that was legit the only time I ever got actually angry at a fan, because it threw me for such a loop that this kid had no clue the difference between invincible and invisible. That I was like, what is wrong with y'all school system here? That y'all have this. He looked like he's about to graduate high school within the next year and a half or so. And he's like, "Oh, he's not invisible. I can see him right there." I was like, what? I was like, oh, I yelled at that kid so fiercely. Um, like I don't know. I had to have hurt his feelings. Cause like I called him just about everything. Um, it was crazy. Like I recall I had a fan one time basically say he could beat me up. Like he tried to challenge me. He like, yeah, Frank, I kick your ass. Oh, really? Okay, well, I'll see you in the parking lot after this match. Because my match was right before the intermission. And I ended up winning the match. And as soon as the match was over, I looked him dead in the face and said, I'll be outside in 10 seconds. And I went out the back all the way around the building and was standing in the parking lot waiting for him. And he never came outside. And like the rest of the crowd kind of was coming in and out of the building, like, oh yeah, Frank's still out there waiting for you. You know, and yeah, he never came outside. And it was the best slash worst decision I had ever made, because it got me heat.
Yeah,
These
yeah.
fans are like, "Wait, Frank really will beat us up?" Like, um, but it was the worst decision I ever made because this was like February,
Oh
and I had
shit,
just
dude.
got done wrestling, and it was freezing outside, and I didn't put a coat on, nothing. I stood out there in my gear, freezing for about 8-10 minutes, waiting for this guy to come outside. Yeah, I had to get back in. I had to get back into this. Um,
Oh
but
man,
yeah, but
yeah.
it helped. It helped the promotion, kind of tell, look, we're telling y'all fans, y'all need to stay back. Watch what
Yeah.
y'all say. These are professional wrestlers, and as you can see, they don't care. They will come after you, and you know
It's
I
it,
gained a lot of respect from the fans that day that may have
oh,
thought that I was, a pushover, I guess.
it's so easy. It's so easy to be in that position of watching and basically thinking that you're tough
Mhm.
until you are in the realization mode of, oh shit, what did I just get myself into? Because there, I mean, I still, it blows my mind how many people, whether it be indie shows, whether it be, national big promotion shows, the people who think they're tough and will jump the rail and start something and will just get their ass kicked within 10 seconds.
Oh yeah,
Because that's the thing I don't think people realize. And I think it goes with the stigma of the idea that wrestling is fake, right?
right,
Because I can tell you, and it ain't fake.
right.
And
Ask my
everyone who's
knees.
yeah, and everyone who steps into a ring, you know I think that some of the fans really get it and they understand and respect it. But it's those people that just that small percentage, and maybe it's alcohol fuel too, that just, it's like, you ain't tough. And it's like, you know, I actually am pretty tough. And you don't want to see that side of
Right,
me because, I am a performer, but I am
right,
an ass kicker.
right. I may be up here wearing tights, fighting over a belt that will never fit in any type of belt loop that I am currently wearing. But
Yeah.
the thing they don't understand about most wrestlers, I'll probably say, probably nowadays, it's probably close to at least 80% of rosters now. Everyone now in the ring pretty much has either played football at some level, you know, high school, college, semi-pro, pro,
Yep.
or some sort of or like collegiate wrestling, or even some mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
Some actual legit. You know, not to say that pro wrestling isn't legit, because it definitely is. Um, but like we've we've gone through the fire. We've gone and played in these other sports and and wrecked our bodies, and then came and started, doing professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Um, and I feel like, especially when I watch people in the ring, I can usually tell the the people that played sports from the people that didn't play sports before they came
Yeah.
to become a professional wrestler. Because the ones that played sports, they just tend to catch everything we do faster.
Yeah.
They just pick it up and they can put it to use, and a lot of them can just go. Because play football, you used to having your coach blow that whistle in your face, running sprints and doing crab
Yeah.
walks and hitting the boards and all the drills and stuff we got to go through. If you did wrestling, then you know good and well. Like I shoot, I hate my high school wrestling coach. Like by the end of the season, our warm up was an hour, and
Yeah.
40 minutes of that was running. You
Yeah.
know,
Oh, fuck yeah.
we stretched and did all the calisthenics, and then basically we ran around the outer circle for like 40 minutes. And really it was 30 minutes, but at the end of the 30 minutes, he kept extending it for 2 minutes, calling it overtime.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and I remember one time asking Coach, and I was like, man, well, it may not have been me. I just remember one day he goes, you know what? We're gonna run today. Um, and we were like, God, dog, coach, why? And he said, well, now I'm not making you run because it's gonna, be great for your cardio, because it will. I'm not gonna make you run, because it's just gonna, help you overall with your strength and conditioning and all that stuff, because it will. I'm making you run because my coach made me run. And that was his whole reason. And we were like, what? So he literally, what I mean? Like he didn't have to say that. The reality is the better you are conditioned, you can really mess with your opponent's head. And that helped me
Yep.
years later doing the tough man competitions. I remember one time I know my opponent was gassed, and I was gassed too. But I did 10 push-ups in the middle of the ring during that intermission between rounds. And I know that messed with my opponent's head. Like, wait a second, what?
Yeah.
He just did 10 push-ups, man. Oh, I'm no, forget this. I've had people quit in between rounds because of stuff like that. Because
Yeah.
I psyched them out. He didn't know I didn't have anything in the tank, but I made him think it. And that's what
Well,
coach said.
and I think that, one of the things that I always enjoyed about wrestling is I prided myself because listen, I wasn't the best athlete by any means, but psychologically what I understood was I would allow my opponent for the first 2 rounds to start racking up points
Mhm.
because they start getting cocky. And then they start getting frustrated because now when you start kicking it into gear, now wait, they can't shoot on you now.
Because
They
they're
can't
gassed.
they can't do this because yeah, and you start gassing them. And my thing was always get them to the last, right around the last minute. Make sure you're up, get them in a headlock quickly, do a hip toss, throw them down, crank it, and pin them. And they never saw the shit coming
Yeah.
because they're here. They are kicking your ass. They think that I got this guy, blah blah, and then bam, they're pinned, and they're like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Yep.
And
Like,
and it's funny you say the running because that was my. I mean, fucking hate it. We used to have to do for weight cut the night before a meet.
mhm.
We used to go into the the pool, and we didn't go in the pool. We went into the fucking stands in the vinyls.
Oh wow.
And it was like, dude, you got to sweat off 3 pounds now. Go.
I
And
was lucky. I was lucky. I was our heavyweight
heavyweight.
wrestler, but I was 25 pounds underweight. This was back
Sure.
when heavyweight was 275 was the heaviest,
Wow.
and
Yeah.
I came in around between 250 and 255
Wow.
every day. But I know at the start of practice, I would weigh myself, and I would be about 257. After eating lunch and everything. And by the time practice was over, I'd be somewhere around 243.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
And it was rough. And just like you, I like my coach had me rough. He almost set me up for failure, and because I was quick, he just taught me how to wrestle like the small guys. So he taught me, singer legs and ankle picks and things like that. He didn't teach me front headlocks and drags and stuff like that.
Sure.
So when I was wrestling these heavyweight guys using heavyweight moves, you know, I was at a disadvantage because I didn't know these heavyweight moves. And I recall one time, but I learned quick though. I remember one time I was wrestling this guy and we were down in referee's position and ref blew that whistle and I was expecting him to reach up with his right hand, but he reached up with his left and trapped my arm and just rolled. Just
Oh.
just rolled with
Oh.
me. And I was like, what? Just what I mean? Like it was
Yeah.
ridiculous. So I got out of it, and I was like, "That was what was that?" So later on in the same match, I had him down again, referee's position, and he did the same move again. But this time, somehow or another, I basically slid my arm all the way up um, as he was rolling, and I basically cartwheeled on my forearm. And
Ah.
he basically, when he landed on his back in the middle of the roll, I was on my forearm above him, and basically put the right up under his neck, was able to stop him from bridging and locked him up,
It's
and ended up
flattened up.
pinning him.
That's
Ended up pinning him
amazing.
on that, and yeah, I don't think that move's ever been done in wrestling history, but I ended up doing it, and like, and it was a tournament too. It was actually Indianapolis's state tournament.
Okay.
And I recall, well, not the whole state. It was basically the cities, the city schools in Indianapolis.
Right.
And like I ended up leaving wrestling because of that tournament. And I was in the championship round, and win or lose, I had won the title. And then in the last round, with about 20 seconds left, I flipped my opponent over onto his back, but I took him over my knee to do it. And my
Okay.
knee didn't hit the ground first, and he got hurt.
Oh. Okay.
And
Yeah.
instead of calling him for injury default, the referee called me for intentional drilling and disqualified me.
Disqualifying.
And I lost the champion. I lost the whole thing. Like I said, I was undefeated that day. It was win or lose. I had won the whole tournament, and I got disqualified in a championship match,
Wow.
and ended up not, yeah, losing the whole thing. And I was like, I was done.
Yeah. Yeah. I I I would have done the same thing. I would have been
It
like,
was
screw
it was
this.
something I didn't even know existed. I said, what? I said, what's in because the killer is, if you were ranked, you could get away with murder,
Yeah.
because we had a guy who was ranked at 119, and in his match, he literally had the guy snaked up his arm, and he punched the guy into the mat and then pinned him, and no harm, no foul.
Yeah.
All I did was lean the guy over my knee, put him on his back, and as soon as I was going for the pin, I was going for the, you know, arm up under the neck and everything, about to shoot a half, and referee blew the whistle and disqualified me.
Man. That's
Yeah.
but
So.
and it's interesting because when you think about those things, that's what builds the character, man. And
Mhm.
I think that your journey to where you are now, to be able to go out to the ring against someone like Kal Jak, you know damn straight that you're prepared because you've been through the shit. You've
Yeah.
been through the letdowns and the bullshit that goes along with not only grappling, Greco-Roman, but also in tough man competitions. Same thing. There's always going to be, and it's amazing because there is always going to be certain rules that get bent for certain guys.
Hmm.
And then guys like us got to prove our fucking self time and time again
Yep.
because it doesn't apply to us because we're not the quickest, we're not the strongest, we're not the prettiest. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many different factors that guys get passes on that those of us you know who've gone through the ringer, we know it. We know what it takes. We know that once you think you have us, you don't have us. You have to legitimately put us out
Yep.
because that's how we were trained, man. That's what we do. That's our respect for the business, for fights, for,
Yep.
for everything that goes with it. And that's why I cannot wait to see. Um, I think this is going to be Kal Jak's one of his biggest challenges to date.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. He's got a young career, but I hope he doesn't think he's about to make a name for himself on the back of Frank the Tank.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be as easy as he may think it is. It's going to be. Yeah, I've been doing this for 20 years, and yeah, I may not be as fresh and as spry as I used to be. But the one thing I do better, really, than anyone I know, is like when it's go time and it's time for me to, either put up or shut up. Like I'm going to, you know, dig deep and I'm going to try to pull out that win. I pulled it out against, Funny Bone. I pulled it out against Ace Romero. I pulled it out against Leon Hader. I pulled it out against, all of those guys who would technically be considered the better wrestler, you know. But the one thing they did not count on was that it's hard to keep me down. It's
Yeah.
hard to, you know, it's almost impossible, really, to keep me down. The phrase "unstoppable" for this is is quite um, accurate uh, when you talk about me. Uh, it- you know, I'm a tank. You literally need to have a freight train to stop me. You
Yeah.
know, you know. So
We'll
yeah,
we'll see if that bear goes over the mountain because I don't think he's going to.
we'll see. Look, all I know is whatever it is, I'm giving 100%. I'm gonna try to, you know, if he comes in there a grizzly bear, I'm gonna try to send him out a cub. You know, we'll see. We'll
Well,
we'll, we'll see. 'Cause, it's been a
eh,
while. I haven't been ringing a while, so I'm gonna have to. I know I'm gonna have to dig deep. I may have a little bit of rest. I gotta knock off during the match, so we'll see.
well, maybe we can we'll motivate you, and uh, if uh, if you pull it off, if you get that victory, if you dig deep, when you get out of the ring, you get back to the locker room, we'll get you some tacos. How
Oh,
about
hoping you was gonna say churros, but
Oh well,
tacos are close enough.
hey, if I can find that Turo truck, if I can flag it down within the next
Yes.
week or so,
Awesome.
man. And hey, again, Ricky Tenacious, you got to listen to this, brother. I think that what Frank is saying is that the event needs a churro truck right outside the door, man.
Maybe. Maybe. I might bring them in.
But you know
But
what?
what I am saying is next Friday, April 8th, 2022. Um, some of the best wrestling in this valley is going to happen at the Sahara Event Center. And I guarantee you, if you show up to this show, you will not be disappointed because, like, there are going to be some downright battles, some downright wars that are going to be launched into that ring. And like if you haven't seen Sky High, versus Players Club, you're missing something. If
Yeah.
you haven't seen Kenny King and Fresco, you're missing something. If you haven't seen Frank the Tank or Kal Jak, you're missing something. Like, get there to the Sahara Event Center and tell them Frank the Tank sent you. And if they ask who Frank the Tank is, um, you know, don't tell them I told you to do it, but punch him in the face. Um, because I might be liable. I might be held liable for saying punch him in the face if someone punches him in the face. So, I didn't say it.
Nah, it was never said. Everyone just kind of keep that out of your mind, but in your
Mhm.
mind. And
Yes, yes.
tickets are on sale. Go to eventbrite.com. You can get front row tickets for $30, second row for $20, and general admission is 15. Doors actually open at 6:30 p.m. So try to get there a little bit earlier so you can get a nice front row seat. And man, this is going to be something else. We're proud to be sponsoring and. Can't wait to see this match in particular because on a night of really good matches, um, I always favor seeing the big guys, and I think the first wrestling live event I went to, I was 10 years old,
Mhm.
and I still, man, I can see walking into the Rosemont Horizon in Chicago.
Oh wow.
Classic. The ring is everything's dark and there's that spotlight on the ring, and you got Hillbilly Jim and King Kong Bundy.
Oh wow.
Oh, dude. You know, that first time you fall in love in your life, that
Mhm.
was it. That was it, brother. So
Well, not to outdo you, my first live wrestling event was WrestleMania 8 in Indianapolis, Indiana.
uh, sure, sure.
When Sid wrestled Hogan and yeah, so that one, you know, so that was
So
me.
so you were one of the ones who popped when the Warrior came out of nowhere running down the aisle and no one thought about,
Mhm.
uh
Yep.
whew,
So yeah, WrestleMania 8, Indianapolis, Indiana. I was there, and that was my first live show.
man.
And yeah,
Savage over Flair for the
Mhm.
championship,
Yep.
man. Whew.
Heck, even the like the opening matches, like Tito versus Shawn Michaels.
Sean.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
great.
That was Sean's
Like
first singles match after he turned on Marty.
yeah, and here's the thing: is a lot of people, they ask, oh, what was your favorite match, this and that, or what match got you into watching wrestling? And people are like, oh yeah, Hogan or Flair or Savage or whatever. The match that got me into professional wrestling was actually Rugged Ronnie Garvin versus Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Oh, one of the best. One of the best, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I was, every kid in the '80s was a Hogan fan, but when I saw Rugged Ronnie Garvin and Greg the Hammer Valentine like battling, that's what made me like wrestling. You know,
The shin guard. The
so like
shin guard,
right,
man.
they hooked me, and then like Hogan and Junkyard Dog and Brutus Beefcake and Flair and Rhodes and them, you know, they took it and ran with it. But those two, that battle, I mean, they had a feud, man, and
Yeah.
that's what hooked me.
That Garvin stomp was
Yep,
something else. Oh,
yep.
dude, yeah. Well, we could probably talk for hours, but
Yep.
right now I'm going to let the listeners and viewers just kind of take a breath, process everything. Definitely get your tickets. Come on out, support Big Valley Wrestling, support Vegas Wrestling, and you won't be disappointed because
Yep.
man, everyone on this card is talented. And if you don't know some of the local wrestlers, this is a great chance to get to know them. This is a great environment. Even though Frank might yell at your kid,
Oh,
it's
definitely.
one hell of a kid-friendly environment. So,
Yes.
so,
Yes. That
and
will happen.
by the way, if parents out there, if you don't necessarily want to yell at your kid yourself, that's another good reason to bring them and have
There it
Frank
is.
yell at them. So,
Yep. I'll tell them. Go home and do some homework, kids. I don't care. I don't care. Um,
yeah, so your kid knows the difference between invincible and invisible.
yes,
So,
please. Please. That's the one thing I ask. Is please instill in your children the difference between
oh,
invincible and invisible. Make sure they know the difference between there, and there.
yeah,
You know, your and your. You know, two and two. Um, yeah,
yeah.
like I, I saw a joke one day where they were like, they had this girl talking about, what does TWA spell? She goes, huh, twa. They're like, okay, what's TWI spell? And she was like, twi. She's like, well, what's TWO spell? She was like, twelve. And it was like, no, it's two. It's still it's two. And they asked her like 8 times, like, are you sure it's 12? Yeah. 12, 12, 12, 12. It's 12. And it's like, no, it's two, girl. It's two. So yeah.
I got it right before I go. You just sparked something in my head.
Mhm.
When I was in the second grade, and you're doing those like in class spelling bee, things. One of my good friends, he gets up there and the teacher goes, spell the word ship. And without a beat, he goes SHIT.
Mhm.
And we all fucking just start laughing. And he's looking at it like, what did I do wrong? And the teacher's like, I said, ship. And it was like, yeah, sometimes you learn things and
Yeah.
yeah, he learned how to spell shit, but he didn't know how to spell ship. So,
Yep. It is.
all right,
It
everyone,
is.
thank you for tuning in. And again, it's Friday, April 8th. It's doors at 6:30, bell time 7 o'clock. The Sahara Event Center at 800 Karen Avenue in Las Vegas. And again, tickets are available on Eventbrite. And if you guys check out the Patreon for Big Valley Wrestling, you can definitely check out the event as well. Man, again, it's been a pleasure, Frank, and
Thank
can't
you for
wait.
having me.
I can't wait to see what happens and how much trouble Kal Jak's in. So
Oh
it's gonna
yeah.
be fun.
Oh yeah. I might
Uh,
pull out. I'm gonna do a moonsault. I'm stop lying. I'm not gonna do a moonsault. I haven't done a moonsault in over 10 years. I'm not about to start doing them now. So
yeah, the knees are not going to appreciate that impact of a moonsault.
definitely.
All right, everyone, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.
I appreciate it.